Now this has the downside of... Okay. I did draw a lot of burn. Good game. Hey guys, thanks a lot for stopping in. It's Royce, and I'm so glad that you could join me today for this new deck. New to me, at least. Today we'll be playing Draven Rumble. Now, I've played a lot of Draven in the past, especially when he was a 3-3, but since the nerf, like many other players, I've kind of shifted him to the side, especially since Cyan has fallen out of favor in the meta. Now, when Rumble came out, at first he turned a few heads because it was like, oh, so many keywords. Let me actually show you what Rumble does. You can get Impact, and Quick Attack, and Spell Shield. But it turned out that it became apparent that it was a little bit of an all-in strategy that was hard to sustain. Yes, sometimes you would have power turns, but other times it just felt bad to discard 3 cards, even in a discard-oriented deck, and you would just run out of resources. At least that's what I saw from other people trying the deck. So it never really interested me. Also, Rumble has the misfortune of having, not misfortune the pirate, but the misfortune, the word, of being released alongside Ahri and Kennen, alongside, I believe, Pantheon as well, who are some of the best champions in the game right now, making up, several of the tier 1 decks. And Rumble just isn't that strong, but that doesn't mean that Rumble isn't good in his own right, and in the right deck. And I think this might be it. So this deck has been around for a little while. It makes use of Draven and Rumble, and I would categorize it as a mix between an aggro and a combo deck. First, to understand the deck, you should understand the actual ideal situation, which is that you'll get down a Rumble with hopefully all of the keywords, and you'll be able to swing in with it with Might or Ambush. Ambush is when you're trying to go for lethal. Might is when you're trying to deal a lot of damage and hopefully try to level up your Rumble. Now, pretty much the rest of the deck helps enable this situation. You have a big discard package between multiple Reborn Grenadiers, Poro Cannon, Zonai Urchins. You can discard your Ballistic Bot Fodder. You can discard your Flame Chompers. You've got Fallen Rider. You've got Axes. You've got Lost Soul. You have a ton of high priority discard targets, and you have a lot of cards that want to be discarding. Those would be, Get Excited, Zonai Urchin. Technically, you could discard with Reborn Grenadier. It's almost never done. Poro Cannon, and of course, Rumble. This deck isn't playing Sump Dredger. That whole discard package is used to enable the Rumble, used to get to turn 4 or 5 so you can get in with a big swing. He has built-in protection, which is really nice, meaning you don't necessarily need to keep up mana for something like some sort of protection cards. Yeah, you don't need to worry about having a discard open for survival skills necessarily. And the cool thing about Rumble is he levels actually really quickly. You only need to deal 12 damage with him, and when he has Impact, that means that per attack he's going to deal 6, so you just need 2 attacks, or, let's see, does Impact activate on Strike? When it strikes while attacking. Okay, so you need 2 attacks, or an attack plus a strike plus a little, maybe an attack plus a blade plus a Whirling Death, something like that, and Rumble is leveled. Now what happens when Rumble is leveled? Most importantly, I would say, if he levels on board, he's going to get double Impact. He's also going to get Spell Shield back. Now, this is a big deal because opponents often won't know about this. This is an interesting interaction. The opponent may try to remove Spell Shield on Rumble and then just say, okay, now I have mana left over to deal with him. And then if you manage to level up the Rumble, he's going to get Spell Shield back. Now, that's kind of weird. It's kind of unintuitive, but it's just the way it works. Also, when you deal damage to the enemy nexus, create a random Mecha-Yordle in hand, or if you have one, grant all Mecha-Yordles in hand +1/+1 and reduce their cost by 1. This effect matters very little. The important thing about Rumble is to get that attack going, get the impact damage going, and get in for big damage with Might and Ambush. Now, I won't lie, that effect does come into play sometimes, but Rumble is not best played in a Mecha-Yordle deck. Rumble is best played in an aggro deck. Speaking of aggro, this deck also has some additional over-the-top. We're playing 3 Mystic Shot, 3 Get Excited, 1 Noxian Fervor, and 3 Decimate. So as long as we can get the opponent down to like 6 to 8 damage, they have to start being really, really afraid. And that's pretty much the deck right there. Again, this is an aggro and combo deck, so you'll have to adapt to whatever your starting mulligan is, and you want to be closing out the game fairly early, so think about those breakpoints. Think about, but the breakpoints are like, try to get your opponent down to like 5 health. You don't need to kill them, because you're playing a lot of burn cards over the top. I think I counted like 10 of them. So you don't necessarily need to kill them. Sometimes just getting in for a big swing, taking them down to like 5 or 6 life is enough. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling. That's the deck. If you are new to the channel, thank you again so much for watching. Please leave a like and a subscription if you enjoy the content. There will be a lot more like this. I will be trying to upload every single day of the week, even on weekends. So that'll do it, and let's enjoy some games. Here we go, our first game with Draven Rumble. Let's see how it goes on the ladder. By the way, I haven't mentioned it in a little bit, but if you guys would like to go ahead and check out my YouTube channel, just type !YT in the chat and you'll receive a link. So we really need some discard activators. I like Fallen Rider early. Lost Soul Fearsome can be good against this deck. Or, sorry, Twinblade Revenant. I don't think we keep Mystic Shot. I think we just want some more proactive options here. I think it's also a little too early to keep Lost Soul. So what are we hoping to see here? We're really hoping to see a Poro Cannon. There's our Rumble. Okay, so we want to collect discard targets for Rumble. The Ballistic Bot Ignitions can help if we can keep our Ballistic Bot alive. The opponent isn't going to be running a lot of removal, so we don't have to worry about this staying alive. You might still offer the trade, though, into...
I go where the winds blow.
Okay, we don't do anything about that. We don't want to overcommit, like a double Mystic Shot into an Ahri. Okay, very nice. So we have our turn 4 planned out. We are going to discard Ignition and double Fallen Rider. We'll be able to do that on the open, so before they have a chance to do anything. With 1 mana, they can't possibly remove my Ballistic Bot. We have an option here to potentially Mystic Shot the Shadow Assassin, but I think there are higher priority targets.
Too slow.
Can you improve perfection?
Okay, just drop it.
Locked and loaded. Come on, baby.
These Fearsomes are going to be hard to deal with for this deck, but Kingu Wayfinder is a great pickup for them.
Need a light?
Let's push that damage. I'm not too excited about just seeing this get blocked by Wayfinder. Now, notably, they can use Mark of the Storm here to remove the spell shield from Rumble.
It will be done.
That's something to consider.
Working as intended.
So we could see a Homecoming here. That's the main removal that this deck actually plays. Homecoming and Kennen spell. Lightning Rush. We probably want to keep ourselves flexible enough to
Looking for a daring escape.
maybe kill that Ahri. We could play Decimate and still potentially do it. What else would we want to do this turn? We might want to Mystic Shot something.
I have studied every fighting manual.
It's Mystic Shot. They can Twin Disciplines or Recall. They have the Recall. Let's go second Mystic Shot. Yes, we are spending some of our burn here, but I think the more important thing is stemming the bleeding here. Okay, we force out a Nopify. So now I'm not sure if we're going to actually see them swing. The best thing... They do swing.
Quickly. Quietly now.
I was going to say the best thing to do would be to first cast the Lightning Rush, or the Mark of the Storm, to make me question on if they're going to swing. And if I pass back, then I'm in good shape. Or then they're in good shape because... What am I trying to say here? They cast this, and if I want to wait for combat to use this, then they can just make me... They can just skip their combat and be fine with that. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's it.
Okay, so we've got multiple fearsomes coming in.
Prime and ready.
We also have another Get Excited if they drop another Ahri.
In all things.
Okay, so they are going to Mark of the Storm here. Not much that can be done about that.
Safety disengaged.
I think we'd like to just swing in for 12 here. Probably more like 8, because this gets blocked by like the Navori Conspirator. Okay, it's the go hard version. Good to know. Let's just make them do this. Okay, they do. No other blocks?
Come on, baby.
So it's actually pretty dangerous to cast this Ignition here, but I might have to do it. If I do, I'm actually showing 10 burn in hand.
Can you improve perfection?
But now that I've done this, they might see, oh, the opponent's gone below 3, I can play Ahri. Thankfully, I don't get punished there.
Disengaged.
Silent as death.
Okay, how do I feel about 5 elusive damage? Not amazing. How's Kennen doing? Is Kennen at 3 out of 5? Yes, and he is leveling from his own effect. Go hard, okay. We have another that they can see.
Can you improve perfection?
Droplet.
Walk softly, strike quickly.
I will play my part.
Let's block a Shadow Assassin. We really, really want to just win this next turn. Or at least on the backswing. I think here they might be allowing us to decimate. Or we could just decimate next turn. Is there anything... what's your spell? Flame Spitter. What else could I draw? Let's see, I'm gonna have 8 unit mana next turn.
Guess I'll just keep the engine running.
I think I'm okay just open attacking.
Safety disengaged.
You might see Palm, of course. Let's let them react. We'll use this after that. They have to block. In response to Lightning Rush, I have Noxian Fervor. What if we go here? I'm not showing lethal, but I am leveling up Rumble, and I'm showing lethal with this ignition. Now this has the downside of... Okay. So here they are... Here I just win. They're tapped out. I bring them down to 7. I have Decimate plus Get Excited. I'll just let it through. I don't need to optimize further from there. Feels good. I'm enjoying this. This is a fun deck. I did draw a lot of burn, but I also play 10 burn cards in my deck. Good game. I also feel like this deck has a lot more adaptability than Scouts. Control decks, they have their own skills. I'm not trying to pit them against each other or anything. But with control decks, you just kind of like... Oh, what are their champions? That was weird. You just kind of stop them from winning until you just kind of like win no matter what you do. So Poro Cannon plus Reborn Grenadier is nice as a burst blocker. But against Kindred, it's not that important, or it's not as useful. I like having... I don't like Zanai on 1. I like it on 3. I could... A better 1-drop would be... nothing really. I guess it's fine on 1 if I draw Flame Chompers. I'll keep it. I was gonna keep it anyway. Okay, so we'll just pass on 1 here, I think. Oh, that's a good play. So as you can see, they're playing Ionia Shadow Isles, Kindred Karma. So they are not going to be able to Thermo Beam or Mystic Shot this Risen Rider. Get in for 6. Now what Shadow Isles does have is Withering Wail. It has Withering Mist. It has some other options. That board always really annoys me. I wish they would tone down the shake effects. I don't want to actually edit my game settings, but I might need to. Okay, so there's the whale. I think this deck plays Go Hard. Which means that we can safely offer Boom Baboon because they'd rather go hard the Risen Rider. However, if they're playing for another whale, I don't want to play more into that, and that's highly possible. I don't know if I want to show the Draven yet. How does Shadow Isles do against 2 damage? Not that well, right? I think I want to... Banking spell mana can actually help me a bit. I think I'm going to play Mystic or Ballistic Bot into develop Draven. They're on 5. They don't really have a good clear here. If they just play Kindred. Okay. So we're a little worried about a second Go Hard, but let's make them... Let's make them have it. I want to kill the Fearsome blocker. Go Hard is a slow spell, so they'll have to do this in reply. They can't do it in combat. Okay, so we know they don't have it. Now the question is, would we like to push 2 more damage? We can either have them down to 12 or down to 10. I think I'd like to keep Spinning Axe as a discard option for the Reborn Grenadier. the Flame Chompers or the Lost Soul.
What are you waiting for?
Don't be rude, Draven. Okay. So another Go Hard would be nice here. Kindred would be very good for them. They can Kindred plus Vile Feast. No Kindred. That's very nice. In that case, what do I want to do now? Okay. So one option here is, what if we just make a non-committal play? We don't want to be discarding this turn.
Can you improve perfection?
So when you make a non-committal play like that, it's what's known as soft passing in this game, which basically means that you are spending very little or zero mana to do something inconsequential to try to entice your opponent to do something. So here we can have one burst development. We're a little worried about Withering Wail.
Safety disengaged.
I think against Withering Wail, we are more inclined to play Reborn Grenadier here. If we give them an action to play Ruination, what would our turn look like? We could get in for 6 plus 7 plus 4. If they Ruination, we win. So we don't care about that.
Can you improve perfection?
They don't have Avalanche in these regions.
Rise, metal brethren.
And when you're the aggressive deck, you actually want to be developing. It seems kind of funny, but it's true. Okay. I don't want to play super hard into Whale.
Time for the moneymakers.
We're going to do this. We're going to potentially get whaled. We're going to... Okay, so my play here is to pull the Fearsome blocker with Flame Chompers. And then potentially be able to get in for 8 Fearsome damage. We have tapped ourselves out a little bit here. Okay, so there's the second whale. I was expecting that.
Destiny awaits.
So we just push 4 here. I don't think we swing in with the Ballistic Bot anymore. So they're down 2 whale. And they're down 1 go hard, I believe. I think they played 1. Decimate is very nice. Okay, do we want to be discarding this for anything? I don't think so. I don't think there's a problem with giving them an action.
Prime and ready. Join me if you want to live.
Water changes but never breaks.
So I think we want to be blocking the Fearsome blockers. At this stage of the game, I don't know if Reborn Grenadier is very important. So let's ditch 1. We'll get another fearsome. Make his attack awkward.
You're in over your head.
Safety disengaged.
Okay. So there are 2 fearsome blockers. I have 2 fearsomes. We can swing in, might, decimate, and get excited. Or we can even get excited next turn. We're not really forcing them to play anything right now in response. We want to buff the sturdiest thing, or the thing that they least want to otherwise kill. I don't think they'll be playing Recall. They don't really want to kill this thing, I guess. I'm not sure if this point matters.
You hoping they'll die of boredom?
Yeah, so even if this gets taken care of, okay, as it does, we still have Decimate plus Get Excited.
What form will the waters take?
Okay, no deny. Any Nopify? Okay. So now I think we play this slow a little bit. We allow ourselves to acquire some cards. And we try to respond to their healing. Is there anything that I might want to play other than Lost Soul here? I don't think so. I could Blade the Lost Soul and block here. Okay. Pretty good opportunity. They need Whale or Deny. Okay, cool. So yeah, that went kind of how we expected.
All me.
We forced them to block down to slow down their clock, to give ourselves enough time to acquire options. We kept lots of mana. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, watch this before you play this deck. Or watch before you play this deck. Right? That's a good way to clickbait my sorrows. Watch before you play this deck. Okay, Viego, Elise, Vi. Or sorry, Kindred. Kindred, Vi, Elise. Okay. Alright, let's plan out our first few turns. We've got Baboon on 2 to answer Elise. Very nice. I don't think we keep Rumble with this hand. Unless it's enough to just bank 1 and then have no turn 3. We would be playing Rumble on 5. I might keep it if I were attacking on evens. Excuse me. We could have also considered keeping Get Excited for Kindred. I wouldn't be mad at that. So the problem with Minion on 2 is I just kind of get torn up by, well, Mystic Shot is bad. What if we just play this instead? How bad is that? Get this going. We don't really need discard fodder, we need discard cards. I think I just play the Draven. I have another copy.
The main event.
We'll get the axe.
Watch and learn.
Okay. Draven gets to attack. PogChamp. So if they play and swing with Kindred here, I Whirling Death. And what could they answer with? For 3 mana at fast speed? Not much, right? My hand's getting a little cloggy.
Embrace life.
Expect death.
Let's see, do you swing? It would be very nice. So I'm doing this here, so the wrong unit gets marked. Now we Ballistic Bot, and then we
But look at me now.
Whirling Death? Ah, darn. So close.
Safety disengaged.
Okay, so let's do that again. If they ping my Boom Baboon, then I'm in good shape. Let's pre-commit the Ignition, see what they do.
Can you improve perfection? Fire till nothing.
Oh, I actually have, Flame Chomper's Might. Interesting. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Flame Chompers, buff Draven,
Safety disengaged.
full swing,
Let's boogie.
make them think, oh, he's trying to push for lethal. And then I have either Whirling Death or Might, whichever seems better to me at the time. Go ahead and pre-commit something. It's fine. They're suspicious of Whirling Death here. Do we keep another Draven around? It's probably harder to use Might. What does this deck play? Probably Mystic Shot, right? I have to Mystic Shot a Flame Chompers, isn't that good? I'd rather see them Mystic Shot the Flame Chompers than the Draven.
You hoping they'll die of boredom?
Really? They don't have the kill? Nice. That feels good. And I know I missed a chance to level Draven, but if they did have Mystic Shot, I thought that would have been really bad for me. Also, I kind of like keeping another Draven around if I can.
System upgrade.
Okay. Final Draven. We should be pretty fine with using a Whirling Death now. What's this? Rude Awakening? What would they use here? Withering Wail? Maybe Withering Wail. Yeah, Withering Wail would be good. I'm fine if they Withering Wail in the stack. I'm fine just playing this Ignition here, putting on a little pressure.
Disengaged. Rise, metal brethren.
Okay. And now, I'm not actually threatening a lot of damage here. I am threatening a Draven level.
Light is a lure in the dark.
Okay. Do I ever throw away this axe here to get... I think I do. I think I need to commit further. We'll just put it on Draven to make them afraid for no reason. Okay. So this wants to block here. What am I worried about now? Ruination, right?
Watch and learn.
Hmm. Let's do this. If they block this with minion, that means that Elise would have to block Draven, or they take the Draven hit.
Move or cease.
Okay. Might here? Or do I just let it go? I don't have much to do. Do I have any other might that's good? I don't want to invest more into Draven. I think I'll just slow play it. I'll plan to play this and decimate. I get an axe, which is nice. I get this back. Are they considering Withering Will or Ruination here? If so, I'm fine. Am I?
Never one.
Kindred? Ignition.
Prime and ready.
So here the problem is Draven could die, but I do have more of those. In fact, I have Draven plus Whirling Death still left. Pass. There might have been a point where I was supposed to play Fallen Rider. Okay, excellent. Now I have the Get Excited.
Vi stands for violence.
I have Might plus... Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to keep open Get Excited and Might and Whirling Death. For that I need 9 mana. Does the extra 2 mana matter much? No. So I'm just going to Ignition here. Now I only have 1 mana left, but that's totally okay.
A ticket to the gun show.
Trouble coming at ya.
Okay, so what if I just Whirling Death? What if I Might Whirling Death? What if I Axe Whirling Death?
What are you waiting for? Now we're cooking.
I still have another Draven waiting. Just, do another, right? And we want to... Okay, so it'll level. It won't kill the Vi. Okay. The Vi is here to stay. Okay, so I only have one Draven left in the deck. And am I naturally playing any Whirling Deaths? I think I'm playing 2. I have 2 Whirling Deaths and 1 Draven left.
What's my name?
That turn felt a little inefficient.
Draven.
I prevent the Vi level, that's nice.
Safety disengaged.
I think that's 2 Kindreds down.
System upgrade.
Here's another Whirling Death. Worried about Ruination, I guess. Worried about Vengeance. Not too worried about whatever else they might play.
Engaged. Fire kill nothing.
Might on this is pretty nice. Whirling Death on it might be pretty nice.
Zon will
Karina.
be mine.
Probably a clear. What can I do? Not too much. Okay, 3 is just enough. Let's see. I could play this and then play this. That's not doing anything. Let's do that. If they grab with Vi, I'll use an axe on this and discard Fallen Rider. Unfortunately, they messed up our might play. We're now very close to lethal. We need 1 more point.
I must end this madness before I lose myself.
So, what can I do here? They are bringing me down to 6, and they're showing at least 8 damage. I think I might have to... So, just in case we need all of the actions, let's do that. And that, and now we have Whirling Death Might.
Here's the fun part. Eat this.
Okay. I think we've got to do it this way. I wonder if we could have used Might offensively somewhere. Because now, obviously, we've drawn such that we just have to use it defensively.
Justice is served.
What's still left in our deck? We have triple Mystic Shot to get excited. We also have Horo Cannon. That could do something. That does nothing. When I strike a unit while attacking. Okay, so I won't take damage by attacking into the Vi. So can I afford to play this here? It kind of depends what they do back. This might force Vi to block, which would be nice. Alternatively, I am throwing away some outs. So if I can force Vi to block, what if I play one Decimate and see what happens? This gives me the option of playing second Decimate or of playing Twin Blade Revenant. Vi has to survive, meaning they would need one, meaning Vi can strike Zonite Urchin and bring me down to 1, meaning they would just need Mystic Shot. If they Thermo Beam this, I lose the game. So we know what our outs are here. We need Mystic Shot. We need Get Excited. Horo Cannon might keep us alive. So we have... Okay. Now we still could potentially play Reborn Grenadier here. Right now they're not showing lethal. Okay. We got Poro Cannon, so we have a burst speed blocker. Them just snapping that. Oh yeah, they have Ledros. That's GG. However, if I have a buff here, then it doesn't work for them. Ooh, really, really close game. I'm sure there was a point there that I might have been able to push one more damage. I feel good about that though, it was a lot of fun. Very interactive. Alright, so Trundle, Sejuani, Tryndamere. This is, wait, Ionia. Oh, is this Field of Minah? Yeah, so this plays Minah Swiftfoot. At 9 mana, we have to be aware of that. I always like to keep Fallen Rider. And this deck, I think it mostly just plays like... I don't think it plays Fey Blade Twirlers, right? I think it might mostly rely on like Avaros and Sentries early game, so I'm not going to keep a Mystic Shot. I don't really care about Mystic Shotting that card. Okay, so let's actually plan for the Rumble here. We're going to Rumble on 5. We'll get the Flame Chompers right now, and then later we'll get down the Ballistic Bot when it's more likely to survive. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 good targets. That means that we are allowed to play Ballistic Bot this turn, although I might have anyway. Catalyst, okay. I almost just passed there.
Perfection, meatbags. Can you improve perfection?
They're on turn 6. We have the option of Dravening here. Let's see if they go below. Well, I don't really care if they go below Avalanche or something, because I'm still going to commit this Rumble. I think I just play the Draven. I make them react, reduce their ability to ramp.
It's Draven.
Actually, let me go ahead and check what region Field of Rush is in. I don't actually remember. Okay, so Feel the Rush is Freljord. So they could have Feel the Rush. Alright, Blighted Ravine. Fair enough. Here comes Rumble. There. There. And there.
Let's turn up the heat. Come on, baby. Just needs a few adjustments.
Oh, that also actually buffs the second Rumble. So the second Rumble can come down without a discard. That's pretty cool. We don't have Whirling Death. We don't have a great way to level our Rumble this turn. Or any way to level it this turn. Depending on what they do, we could play more Poros. Or one Poro, rather. We could just Ignition. Hey.
Come on, pal.
You might, but it's okay. It's okay to be in the background. The camera can basically see the whole bed. You don't want to be in the background? I'm sorry. Okay. So here this could be a... I always forget the regions of cards. What region is Go Hard? Go Hard is... Shadow Isles? So I don't think they can go hard. Let's, oh, we might want a Flame Spitter for that, but then again we could just Axe. Do we have something good to discard with Axe?
Guess I'll just keep the engine
We want to discard Ignition with Axe. Alternatively, we could just pull that. Let's play a Poro. Let's pull that to the side.
Perfection. I am the future.
How much am I showing here? 10 damage. Do we ever pre-commit an axe on something? I don't have a great axe target.
Come on, baby.
Okay, that felt pretty good. So axe plus Whirling Death equals Rumble level. You've got multiple Rumbles waiting. Minah, I believe, is 9 mana. So we don't have to worry about that until their next attacking... until the next time they have the attack token. Okay. Do we care? We could kill it. No, it's fine. We have plenty of things to do. Soft pass?
System upgrade. Join me if you want to live.
We have a good draw in ambush right now. They might avalanche. They could avalanche this turn and to freeze my Rumble next turn. What if I just swing next turn? They can't palm this. They'd have to double palm it. They could palm this and block here. I could get the kill on Scattered Pod. Deal 3 impact. Twin Blade.
Prime and
Now we might see an avalanche. Thankfully, I'm kind of durable to it. If they wait for more, I'll just pass. Bill. Okay. So playing this and getting avalanched is actively bad for me. Playing this one though. No. Okay. So what do we do about Blighted Ravine? I think I want to do this just to get a Flame Chomper. I have to remember that I need to actually threaten lethal. We've got some decent developments into this board. It is the Minah turn, since they have ramped. I just swing. That's not good. What about Axe? Discard. Okay, so that prevents them from using Minah because I have the ignition. See what happens here. Double palm I think would probably be... Is that fine? I mean, I can kill this, which still gives them Minah next turn. Okay. Freeze.
Working as intended.
Into palm. Okay, so that gets palmed, that stays palmed. So I think here we use a Flame Spitter. We develop this and play an Ignition. Do I ever play another Flame Spitter? I'm glad to see so many resources spent. Ignition. I have to be conscious of actually them going for counter-lethal here.
Fact, I am superior life form. Can you improve perfection?
Okay, so they know my whole hand except for one card.
I'm ready.
There's Ambush. If I can play this by the end of the turn, I can get a potential ambush. We've seen them play 2 defensive spells. We've seen them play Palm and 3 Sisters. So what we're doing here is we're basically using as few of our reactive options as we can, and trying to put as much pressure as possible on the opponent with just our actual attacks. This blocks the open attack
Whole nother mech by now.
if he was considering open attacking with Scattered Pod to soft pass, if they were considering it. Okay, what if I do this?
System upgrade.
That doesn't cost that much.
Take it to the gun show.
Mina coming down. Okay, no Mina. So that means we can further develop into this board.
Safety disengaged. System upgrade.
No atrocity, right? They might have twin discipline. I lose to double twin. Yeah, I think you should do that. That makes my... Okay. I was gonna say that was gonna make my life harder. Okay, elusive there doesn't really matter. Showing a lot of damage. They can't block enough of it right now. This ambush just ended up being 2 mana plus 2. Go there. Harsh winds would be very good. I still have lethal. Now I'll probably sooner use ambush here than I will use flame spitter. Still lethal, good game.
Come on, baby. We're getting
This deck feels pretty strong into control. Depending on how quickly the control goes. Alright, so we beat what I think was Field of Mina. It feels great. Okay, so Zanai on 1 is very good. If we don't find anything, we still have Ballistic Bot for 2. And this is Iceborn Spiders, by the way. Okay, we'll just pass. We don't want to be blocking that anyway. We'll get some more value out of these urchins. We see these ballistic bots coming down. Those can help.
Humanity is obsolete.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
Pass.
System upgrade.
So on 3, what do they want to be doing on 3? I want to block these spiders down, I think.
So ordinary.
Block, and then... I was actually thinking about Get Excited on Elise, but I didn't end up doing it pre-combat, so I think now I'll just change my game plan.
Bases. Can you improve
We already have 8 burn in hand. We're gonna have 2 more next turn. We're gonna have blockers for some big spiders. Okay. So let's get use out of these while we can.
prime and ready?
We could potentially might this turn. These urchins aren't doing a lot, but we have things to do.
Prime and ready.
If they give me another chance to pass, I will.
You want to live? Can you improve perfection?
We'll block the Elise here.
Inferior design.
They can put me down to 9. Is that okay? I think we just need burn, guys. I know what they're planning to do. Yeah. That's fine.
So young.
They've already spent one Vile Feast.
Rise, metal brethren.
Okay. So we actually have the potential to get some chump blockers here
Can you improve
by playing out Zonite Urchin. That's also not so bad because summoning the Reborn Grenadier is kind of fine. In fact, let's just do it now, and then let's use it as a Noxian Fervor target. Anything else? Do you have another Vile Feast? Okay, I don't think they have something that plays around this. Now what would be a good draw here? I'm gonna be on 6 +2, so Decimate would be excellent. Okay. Do we deny that? Right now we are threatening okay, so we have 2 more damage. These will be at 8. They'll be at 11. This will go up to 11. We're threatening 8 damage there. That's fine. I'm okay with them spending mana to do that.
Safety disengaged.
I think it's too late for Rumble.
System upgrade.
So I actually kind of forgot about these. I did not really want... Is it going to be Whale? Okay. We only need 1 to survive. So let's see if they tap below.
Safety disengaged.
So we know what to do here. Let's see. Do I Draven? I could, just to distract them.
It's Draven time.
Evolve or die.
Another option is to Might the Draven. Oh, good. They overreacted. Alright, and that's how you do it. So, what are we afraid of here? We're afraid of Withering Wail, right? We're not afraid of Vile Feast. They are threatening lethal on the open.
Nothing escapes my watch.
I'm not sure... I think this deck does play some control tools. Okay, so now we're not worried about Withering Wail. We have exactly enough mana to do this. GG.
Safeguard our homes.
The block can't ever matter. Well played. Alright, so we got really lucky there, getting those ballistic bots to go off and catching the opponent by surprise with a Might. And we had a really clutch hand that was full of burn. Hey YouTube, you just watched me try out Draven, Rumble, Aggro, combo. What is it really? No one knows. And I've got to say, after recording Scouts earlier, in a sense this was a breath of fresh air. This kind of deck is much more oriented with my playstyle. It's flexible in the sense that you can go for tempo or burn damage, and which you choose really depends on the matchup. It depends on the state of the game. So I like that adaptability of it. The win rate for this deck was better than Scouts. I think I finished Scouts down about 40 LP, and with Draven Rumble, I think I went even, right about 50-50. Now the deck also felt stronger than I could potentially give it credit for. I think that it's pretty difficult to play, and I think there were a few moments where I would go for like a removal plan with my fast spells that ultimately could have potentially been a situation where I could just burn the opponent out. So that's definitely something to think about. Think about your breakpoints. Think about if you will be able to win just through the burn game plan, and only if not, and only if you feel like you're too unlikely to actually draw your outs, should you direct a lot of burn at something like a wounded white flame in Pantheon, for example. When you're facing Pantheon, for example. So yeah, even though the deck wasn't the strongest, I only had about a 50-50 win rate. I still really enjoyed my time. You might be able to do better, and I think that this deck is really worth a try. This definitely shows off the strengths of Rumble more than the Mecha-Yordle decks that people were trying to put him in. So let me go through the deck list and explain whether any cards could be shifted around, whether I have any other ideas for inclusions, and we can go from there. Here are the main alternatives I would consider, y'all. I would potentially increase the number of Poro Cannons, lower Reborn Grenadier, play around with the numbers of Ambush and Might, perhaps. Play around with the numbers of the ratios between Noxian Fervor and Decimate. Consider playing another Lost Soul. Other options are Station Archivist, Sump Dredger, maybe Scorched Earth or Aftershock, and then if you want to go really aggro with it, like Precious Pet, and you could main deck a Flame Chomper. So that's actually more alternatives than I expected. This deck seems really flexible, so I think that it's one of those decks where you're not playing 3 of for every single card. But anyway, guys, that will wrap up the deck guide and the gameplay highlights. Thanks so much for watching me play Draven Rumble today. I really enjoyed it. I feel like this deck is really highly skill testing, and you could perform well on this in the ladder if you are really careful with your plays. I might be playing more of this myself as well. Anyway, that'll do it for the YouTube outro. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like and a subscription. It would help me out tremendously. Thanks a lot.